Hi, I'm Antonio Centeno. I'm the founder of Real Men, Real Style. Today I'm going to be talking about the sport jacket, the blazer jacket, the suit jacket. What is the difference? Many of you guys are out there, you're out there looking to purchase a jacket, and you're like, okay, what is the difference? Can I wear my suit jacket as a blazer jacket? Is this blazer jacket technically a sports jacket? And it doesn't help that a lot of people out there selling these items don't know the difference themselves, and they're confusing the terminology, confusing the words, and in many cases you see clothing being made which is kind of a hybrid between them. So the rules I'm going to give you today, I'm going to talk about each of the jackets, and I'm going to talk about the fit, the fabric, and the function of each of them. I'm going to give you general guidelines. You're going to find a lot of the clothing out there will fall somewhere between these, but using these guides, you're going to be able to make a smart, informed decision and make sure that you purchase the right jacket, and just as importantly, you wear the right jacket for the right occasion. Okay, before we get into this, guys, you know what? I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel. That way these videos come right to you. I don't want you to miss any of them, and I put out these little ghost videos, so if you're not subscribed, you're not going to get them. In addition, you want more information, go to Real Men, Real Style. I'm going to link down below, but I've created an entire infographic and article that goes into more detail than I talk about here in the video. So let's get into it. Okay, so let's start off with the suit jacket. Now, many of you guys are familiar with this, and we're going to talk specifically the definition of a suit jacket is a jacket that is made with basically a matching pair of trousers. And when I say matching, it's made from the exact same fabric. And in fact, when I used to, and I still own my custom clothier, whenever we make clothing, we make sure it comes from, a suit. It actually comes from the same roll. So the fabric is right next to each other. They're cut. And what's interesting is in a mill, over time, the actual color and the way things, consistency, they try to keep high. But if you actually try to match a pair of black trousers with a pair of a black jacket, you may find that they actually don't match up. Sometimes it's the difference in the weave. Other times it may be that if you wear one more than the other, they can start to fade. So that is one of the reasons I recommend do not try to wear your suit jacket as a blazer or a sports jacket. So number one, it has a matching pair of trousers and you keep them together. The other part about this is suit jackets are going to be the most formal. And in men's style, in men's clothing, usually the most formal items are going to be the simplest. So you're not going to see any fancy pockets. You're rarely, and you probably should avoid in your first few suits, fancy patterns, stripes, checks. Now, those things are in some suits, but we're talking here, and if you're watching this video and you have that bit of confusion, you probably need to focus on the foundation suits, which are going to be charcoal gray, navy blue, maybe lighter gray. And if you're looking at black tie, which technically a tuxedo is a suit, it is a matching jacket, matching trouser. So suit jackets, the buttons normally going to, on a lot of the stuff being produced today, plastic, but hopefully we would see horn on higher end jackets. Again, mostly going to be navy, charcoal gray, lighter gray, occasionally black, although I'm not a big fan of black for suits unless it is black tie. Now let's talk about the fit. So a suit jacket is made to fit a bit slimmer and should fit you slimmer. Now, a lot of guys buy suit jackets which are too big, but a suit jacket is not really made to be layered with clothing underneath. You should wear a shirt under it, occasionally maybe a sweater vest, something to keep you warm in colder weather if you're moving around quite a bit, but you're not going to wear full sweaters underneath. And we'll talk about in a few minutes why that's important. So we've talked about the fit can be a bit closer. The fabric, again, you're in suit jackets, mostly going to be solid. You will see some pinstripes, some chalk stripes, and some checks. The function of the jacket is, again, the most formal. So all the style aspects, and I get into this more in the infographic, the functional, like if you look at the lapel right here, this is a sports jacket. You're usually just going to see on a suit jacket notch lapels. You will occasionally see peak lapels, and especially in formal wear, black tie, you'll see shawl lapels, and you will see peak lapels. Hopefully not notch lapels in formal wear, but guys, that is a suit jacket. Now, let's take a step lower. Let's go to the blazer jacket. The blazer jacket is interesting because it's a hybrid. It's going to be more formal than a sports jacket, but it is not a suit jacket because it's not made with a matching pair of trousers, as we talked about. So let's first talk about the fit. I would say blazers, you're going to see sometimes are going to be a little bit looser. They're not going to also be as structured. Suit jackets usually have more structure in the shoulders. Blazers, you will sometimes see structure. Other times you may see a bit looser of a build, especially if it's of Italian heritage. So let's talk about the fabric. Most blazers you're going to see out there, especially ones you're buying off the rack, are going to be in navy blue. You're going to see them made from blue worsted serge, and that's the classic. You're going to see flannel, you'll see hop sack occasionally, but really any lightweight worsted wool. Or you can also sometimes see like a linen mix in there, but navy blue is going to be most of the colors out there. Now, there are some exceptions, and I know you're going to see red, you're going to see green, but those are very rare, and I talk about regatta blazers and stuff in the article, so go check that out if that's what you want to know about. Now, the function. The function, like I said, it falls between the suit jacket and the sports jacket. So sporting events, weekend events, anytime that a suit isn't appropriate, but you still want to dress it up with a blazer. Now, what can you match with a navy blazer? This actually will apply to a sports jacket as well, but gray flannel trousers, chinos, jeans. Yes, jeans, you can actually pull it off. We're also going to see cavalry twill, cords. There are a wide number of things. So blazer jackets, the big thing right here, not going to have the matching jackets. And I know many of you guys are waiting for this, the buttons on a blazer jacket. Normally we're going to see gold, silver, mother of pearl. The buttons usually stand out on a blazer. Now let's go to the sports jacket. Let's look at the word, sports jacket. So the idea was this was the sporting man's jacket. Because of that, let's talk about the fit. Remember I said that you shouldn't layer with a suit jacket. Well, with a sports jacket, you can layer. So this is a sports jacket. It's made from we've got a tweed fabric right here. And what's really nice about this is that I can actually wear a sweater underneath. It's a little bit looser than some of my suit jackets. And that's the cool thing about a sports jacket is it's actually made to be worn out, to be a bit more rugged. Nowadays, you're not going to see that as much, but that goes into the style and the function of the jacket. So on the back of the jacket, sometimes we'll see pleats. We'll see arm patches that actually were once there for a purpose. Now they're more for show. We're also going to see ticket pocket occasionally. So a ticket pocket goes right about the pocket right here and was for holding a ticket. We're also going to see on the lapels I talked about, this is a sport lapel, which is made to actually close up the jacket because if you're out hunting, you wanted to be able to protect your upper chest and neck area. So we've talked about the fit. We've talked about the fabric. I didn't go, there's a number of types of tweed. I'm going to go into more on this in the article in the infographic, but we want to be thinking a Donegal tweed, Harris tweed, houndstooth. You'll also see some solids in brown, green, gray, and blue. Blue's pretty common, and I like that, especially if you go with something that is different than the navy and maybe bring in a bit of a pattern. And you will also see a wide range of checks and patterns in sports jackets. This is where it gets to be a little bit of fun. Now, the function of a sports jacket, of all the jackets, this is the most casual. So don't try to wear a sports jacket when a suit is required, and a blazer isn't probably going to be the first odd jacket. And odd jackets cover both sports jackets and blazers. I would recommend definitely getting a sports jacket after you have your first suit and then getting a blazer. So hopefully you guys found this useful. Again, a lot more information in the article and the infographic which I've created to go with this video. Take care, gentlemen. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.